Cancer loves acid. Cancer also loves no oxygen. The thing cancer loves is sugar.
In this video, we will learn from Dr. Barbara O'Neill the 10 worst foods that are believed to feed cancer cells as they are acid-forming foods. So let's get started. 1. Meat.
Sulfur and chlorine, meat. This explains why Dr. Colin Campbell found he could turn cancer cells on and off like a switch by the amount of meat and dairy products he was giving the rats.
Meat, particularly red and processed meats, has been linked to an increased risk of various cancers, including colorectal cancer. The World Health Organization has classified processed meats, such as bacon, sausages, and deli meats, as Group 1 carcinogens, meaning there is strong evidence that they can cause cancer in humans. Red meats, including beef, pork, and lamb, are classified as Group 2A carcinogens, which means they are probably carcinogenic to humans. The primary concern with meat is the presence of carcinogenic compounds formed during cooking. For example, cooking meat at high temperatures, such as grilling or frying, can create heterocyclic amines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, both of which are known to damage DNA and promote cancer development. Additionally, processed meats often contain nitrates and nitrites, which can form nitrosamines during digestion, another potent carcinogen. Instead of red or processed meats, consider incorporating more plant-based proteins into your diet. Foods like tofu, tempeh, and seitan can provide the necessary protein without the associated cancer risks. Poultry and fish are also better alternatives, as they tend to have lower levels of carcinogenic compounds. 2. Sugar.
Refined sugar. It's very acid-forming.
Sugar is ubiquitous in the modern diet, often hidden in processed foods and beverages. While sugar itself does not directly cause cancer, it can contribute to cancer growth by promoting obesity, a significant risk factor for several types of cancer. High sugar intake can lead to elevated insulin levels and inflammation, creating an environment conducive to cancer cell proliferation. Moreover, cancer cells have a higher metabolic rate than normal cells and rely on glucose as their primary energy source. This phenomenon, known as the Warburg effect, means that high sugar consumption can effectively feed cancer cells, helping them grow and multiply more rapidly. To reduce sugar intake, opt for natural sweeteners like honey, maple syrup, or stevia. Focus on whole fruits instead of fruit juices or sugary snacks, and read food labels carefully to avoid hidden sugars in processed foods. 3. Wheat.
The hybridized wheat, the hybridization of the wheat created a lot more of the acid-forming minerals.
Wheat, particularly refined wheat products, can contribute to cancer risk due to their high glycemic index. Foods with a high glycemic index cause rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels, which can promote inflammation and increase cancer risk. Refined wheat products, such as white bread, pasta, and pastries, are stripped of fiber and nutrients, making them less healthy than whole grains. Additionally, some people may have sensitivities to gluten, a protein found in wheat, which can lead to chronic inflammation and potentially increase cancer risk over time. Opt for whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, and oats, which have a lower glycemic index and are rich in fiber and nutrients. For those with gluten sensitivities, gluten-free grains like buckwheat, millet, and amaranth are excellent choices. 4. Aged cheese.
Aged cheese. What's the blue in the blue vein cheese? The blue in the blue vein cheese is mold. So the only cheeses that don't sit under that category, the cheeses that have probably a pH of 7 would be your fresh. So that's your cottage, your ricotta. I'm not saying that they are okay, because usually they come from cows who have not been fed right or have chemicals in them.
Aged cheeses, such as cheddar, blue cheese, and Gouda, can be problematic due to their high levels of saturated fats and sodium. High saturated fat intake has been linked to an increased risk of breast and prostate cancers. Additionally, aged cheeses may contain compounds called biogenic amines, including histamine and pteramine, which can contribute to inflammation and cancer development. Furthermore, some aged cheeses may be contaminated with aflatoxins, toxic compounds produced by certain molds that can grow on improperly stored cheese. Aflatoxins are potent carcinogens known to increase the risk of liver cancer. Instead of aged cheeses, try fresh cheeses like mozzarella, ricotta, or cottage cheese, which tend to have lower levels of saturated fats and sodium. Plant-based cheese alternatives made from nuts or soy can also be a nutritious option. 5. Caffeine.
But on the pH scale, they're not as acid. Caffeine, all your caffeine foods and drinks have an acid effect. And of course, caffeine usually comes hand in hand with the sugar, which certainly ups it. And remember our 2.6 Coca-Cola, that's a combination of the caffeine and the sugar.
Caffeine, found in coffee, tea, and certain soft drinks, has been a subject of debate regarding its impact on cancer risk. While moderate caffeine consumption is generally considered safe for most people, excessive intake can lead to negative health effects, including increased cancer risk. High caffeine consumption can disrupt sleep patterns, increase stress levels, and elevate cortisol production, all of which can contribute to a weakened immune system and create a favorable environment for cancer cells to thrive. To reduce caffeine intake, consider swapping your regular coffee or tea for decaffeinated versions. Herbal teas and naturally caffeine-free beverages like rooibos or chamomile tea can also be great alternatives. Before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. 6. Alcohol.
Alcohol is not a food, but it creates an acid environment in the body.
Alcohol consumption has been linked to an increased risk of several types of cancer, including breast, liver, mouth, throat, and esophageal cancers. When alcohol is metabolized in the body, it converts to acetaldehyde, a toxic compound that can damage DNA and interfere with cellular repair mechanisms. Additionally, alcohol can act as a solvent, making it easier for carcinogenic compounds from other sources, such as tobacco, to enter cells and cause harm. Excessive alcohol consumption can also lead to liver cirrhosis, a condition that significantly increases the risk of liver cancer. The risk is particularly high for individuals who consume both alcohol and tobacco, as the combination can have a synergistic effect on cancer development. To reduce cancer risk, limit alcohol consumption to moderate levels or abstain altogether. Enjoying non-alcoholic beverages like sparkling water, herbal teas, or mocktails can be a refreshing and healthier choice. 7. Tobacco.
Tobacco is not a food, but it also creates an acid environment in the body.
While tobacco is not a food, its inclusion on this list is vital due to its significant impact on cancer risk. Smoking tobacco is the leading cause of lung cancer and is linked to various other cancers, including mouth, throat, esophagus, bladder, pancreas, and kidney cancers. Chewing tobacco is also dangerous, increasing the risk of mouth, throat, and pancreatic cancers. Tobacco contains numerous carcinogenic compounds, including tar, formaldehyde, and benzene, which can damage DNA and promote cancer development. The harmful effects of tobacco are not limited to smokers. Secondhand smoke exposure can also increase cancer risk in non-smokers. The best way to reduce cancer risk related to tobacco is to quit smoking and avoid all tobacco products. Seeking support from healthcare professionals, joining smoking cessation programs, and using nicotine replacement therapies can help individuals successfully quit smoking. 8. Grains.
All your other grains, other than the grains that sit on the alkaline side.
Grains, particularly refined grains, can contribute to cancer risk due to their high glycemic index and potential for inflammation. Refined grains, such as white rice, white bread, and refined cereals, can cause rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels, promoting inflammation and increasing cancer risk. Additionally, some grains can be contaminated with mycotoxins, toxic compounds produced by molds that can grow on improperly stored grains. Mycotoxins are known carcinogens that can increase the risk of liver and kidney cancers. To reduce cancer risk, opt for whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, and oats, which have a lower glycemic index and are rich in fiber and nutrients. Properly storing grains in a cool, dry place can help prevent mold growth and mycotoxin contamination. 9. Legumes.
All your other legumes, other than the lima, lentil, and soy.
Legumes, such as beans, lentils, and peas, are generally considered healthy and nutritious. However, some legumes can contain natural compounds called lectins and phytates, which can interfere with nutrient absorption and potentially promote inflammation. Additionally, some legumes can be contaminated with mycotoxins if not stored properly, increasing the risk of cancer. To reduce cancer risk, ensure legumes are properly cooked, as this can help reduce the levels of lectins and phytates. Soaking legumes before cooking can also help reduce these compounds. Properly storing legumes in a cool, dry place can help prevent mold growth and mycotoxin contamination. 10. Nuts.
And all your other nuts, other than the almond and Brazil, have an acid effect. To maintain the 6.5 environment, we need to be consuming 20% acid-forming foods and 80%, 70 to 80% alkaline-forming foods. And I'm sure you're not surprised to hear me say that the 20% should come from this section here.
Nuts are a nutritious and healthy snack, but they can pose a cancer risk if contaminated with aflatoxins. Aflatoxins are toxic compounds produced by certain molds that can grow on nuts, particularly peanuts, if not stored properly. Aflatoxins are potent carcinogens known to increase the risk of liver cancer. To reduce cancer risk, choose fresh, high-quality nuts and store them in a cool, dry place to prevent mold growth. Consider incorporating seeds like chia, flax, and hemp into your diet, which are less prone to aflatoxin contamination and offer similar nutritional benefits. While diet alone cannot entirely prevent cancer, making informed food choices can significantly reduce your risk. By avoiding or limiting the consumption of these 10 worst foods that feed cancer cells, you can create a healthier environment within your body and support overall well-being. Incorporating a variety of nutrient-dense, whole foods into your diet, staying physically active, and maintaining a healthy weight are all essential steps in cancer prevention. Remember, small changes in your diet and lifestyle can have a profound impact on your long-term health. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.